Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We've got a banger of a series for you today. We've got down here in the bottom right, the man that everybody's been talking about because he has been on a tear. It is Basilisk Gaming's Serral. In the top left side, we've got Storm Gaming's MaxPax. And the reason we're casting this series is it is the Basilisk 25th anniversary of StarCraft big tournament that they were hosting. That's literally what they called it, the Basilisk big tournament. Big 25th anniversary tournament. It's the grand finals. And Serral came from the upper bracket, defeating Clem in a dominating match with some really creative builds. I know a lot of you love that cast over on my Pigcast channel. So he actually got a 1-0 advantage here because MaxPax had already lost earlier in the tournament. He defeated Clem in the lower finals and now is here in the finals. But the real reason I want to talk about this game and this series is because Serral lost to Ragnarok in a very big upset in the World Championship at Katowice. And we've talked about it a lot, and did he leave the game too early? And yes, he definitely did. And we've seen that objectively. We've looked at the games. I've hopped in the replay multiple times. We did a video talking about that and showing that it was massively favored for his situation. It's actually almost impossible to lose from where he was in that game. You know, it was a really, really huge advantage. He left. And a lot of people were saying Serral's done, he's broken. I've never seen him just leave a game like this. This might be the end of his career. Like, his mentality's shifted. He just doesn't have that unstoppable air of you know, untouchableness. And I think this lit a fire under Serral's butt. I think Serral was like, what the hell is wrong with you people? How can you keep doubting me? He's like, you guys realize StarCraft is the highest variance game in the world. There are so many strategies. There are so many things. You have limited information. You will lose games. You will make mistakes. And I feel, obviously he hasn't said this, but he's saying this in his play. Because since then, and I know this tournament's a little while ago now, but basically that was in March. And this year is early April, and Serral has won 13 series in a row and barely dropped a map since Pigstarcraft Festival. So after Katowice, he was dominating. He barely lost to Clem by one game at Pigfest, and that was unfortunate, but it was a really close, hard-fought series. Other than that one series, he's been dominating. He's won 13 series in a row since Pigfest, and here he is against MaxPax. He dominated Clem in the previous round, getting revenge for that. And for me, I'm just going like, how angry is Serral and how good is Serral when people keep on doubting him? And it's obviously like, it's kind of because he's such a giant of the scene, people keep on doubting him when he's not invincible. Like he's so much more of a star and a fan favorite than any other player. Like the number of casuals who you see going, when's Serral playing? When's Serral playing at the start of the ESL Masters broadcast for the regionals, and his tournament's the last one of the day. But there's people there 10 hours early going, when's the Serral match? I want to see Serral. Serral's my favorite. Like, people just, when he loses games, people can't really cope with it, you know? People are on massive copium and going, oh, what? But he's God. God can't die. Like, you know, it's kind of like you're watching people have this, like, shaking of their faith, you know? Their religious belief in Serral as an unstoppable god is being shaken to its core, which is great. I mean, the downside is, of course, you have people putting unrealistic expectation on your shoulders. The plus side is that Serral is more motivated than ever to rip nerds' heads off their shoulders. Oh, does lose the Overlord. Nice catch by MaxPax, but this means the Oracle is stuck on this side of the map. Despite that, Serral's playing very safe. Spore Crawler's going up now. They're not super early spores. They're going down. He's going to go quick Evo Chamber for +1 melee, no doubt. So he wants to play a heavy Zergling style. This is a great way to play if you're expecting Blink Stalkers out of your opponent. Now, MaxPax is really good at this matchup, but he has been a Twilight Council expert over the last few months. It's curious that he's playing Stargate into Quick Forge this game. Okay, Twilight does go down as well, so it is going to be a Blink Stalker follow-up, most likely. Could be Charge. Those Oracles need to get some damage done. Serral's got 3 queens in his third. He's got 1 queen, a spore, and even a second queen. 1 queen and a spore doesn't fully shut this down. Preemptively pulls back the drones. But MaxPax, he's still out there. He's hunting. Sees those 3 queens. He's going to try and catch these guys out of position. Can he catch some drones transferring? Serral is perfectly positioned. MaxPax can't find anything. He has to pull back the weak Oracle. He gets 1 drone and damages a queen. But now one of his Oracles is deep in the red. His third Oracle comes across. The Lings just poked in. Looks like they surrounded an Adept before running away. So 1 Adept's gone down. Oh, 2 Adepts shading in here. 3 drones, 4 drones. Okay, finally MaxPax finds a little bit of damage. But you know what? MaxPax has been uninterrupted with his economy at home. He's probing really hard. Serral's maintaining pace with him and has a super fast +1 melee and a 4th base going down at the 5-minute mark. He's also got Ling pressure on the front. If he can pick off a few of those probes, that'd be fantastic. Even just attacking that Stalker is always worth it in this sort of scenario. I like the shuffle back for MaxPax, limits it so only 2 Lings can attack at a time. Oracle is here. It looks like he did not have to recall that, but the Lings are in. This is going to be great scouting, maybe a bit of damage as well. Gets a probe, going to get into that main base. Serral on the warpath. Oracle's coming on the other side, but his queens are perfectly positioned. One queen does go down. Oh, looks like another queen might go down as well. Oh, Oracle's barely getting out of there. Great micro by MaxPax, but he killed 2 more probes on the gas in the main at the same time. So at the end of the day, the unit's lost time is dead even for mineral advantage to MaxPax. But Serral's got a 4th base up. He's got +1 melee. He's survived the scariest part of the game. One of the Oracles is down. He's going to build 2 more queens to make sure he's safe. Baneling speed and +2 are going to be key. What's so important about this style from Serral is he's going to have +2 and Baneling speed, both finished before the 8-minute mark, and he's going to be able to do a brutal mass Ravager Ling Bane attack. Ling's going for the cancel. They actually kill it! He gets a kill there! Oh my lord, MaxPax has got to be a little triggered by that. He restarts his 4th here at 6 minutes 20. He's trying to cover this front 4th base. Now, I gotta say, this front 4th is kind of cute, but it's also dangerous. What if Serral queen walks? I mean, if I was Dark right now, if it was Dark in Serral's shoes, he would be walking queens and attacking with Ravager Ling Bane and trying to kill that 4th right now. Serral, though, is so comfortable in the late game. He's going to go for the Infestation Pit, the Baneling Nest here, the +2 melee. So many drones coming out as well. Notice he's only on 4 gases, guys. So he's going to fully saturate 4 mineral lines off 4 gas. That's going to give him an abundance of Zergling production. But if he's going Hive, which it appears he is, he does need to drop more gases so that he can transition into either Broodlords or just Adrenal Glands and Vipers. Hive does start up. Creep starting to get cleared. Ling's coming in for a bit of a backstab, but Cannon and Battery are finished. Chooses to just take out the probe. Serral's going to kill that. Move over to that base. Warping in Stalkers cannot get healed by shield batteries, but Blink is ready. MaxPax will be completely fine there. He's going after a probe on the right side. Serral not able to find too many pickoffs. MaxPax is rock solid, and he's got double forge. +1 armor, +2 attack on the way. He's going to go for that Robo Bear, which is not well timed, man. Going for disruptors at this stage with the Hive already almost finished, not going to work out. Extra gas going down for Serral, so he's going to go to 5 gas. Apparently... And a second Evo? Can he afford this? Okay, guys, normally I would say that's not enough gas, but Serral seems to be managing things quite well. He doesn't really have extra gas to make lots of Banelings and Ravagers. So that is the one kind of weakness of being so low. The upside is you just have endless Zergling production, which is all you really need versus Stalkers. If you have enough Zerglings, it can deal with Zealots as well, especially since your upgrades are pretty much in line with theirs. Massling gonna push these Stalkers back. Serral's doing a great job at spreading that creep everywhere. At least 1 or 2 of these Stalkers will go down. The Oracle is raining down a bit of death on top of that. Stalker's doing some good blink backs. Banelings tried to roll in that right side. Doesn't look like they killed anything. MaxPax did evacuate in time, but he might want to spread a gateway or something over there to limit those run-bys in future. Warp Prism in the main. Already Lings and Banes are ready for it. MaxPax thinking about dropping. Sees too many Zerglings. Diverts over to that right side. Adepts up here being as annoying as they can. MaxPax trying to get value out of everything he can. He's building Colossus right now, but Adrenal Glands is already on the way. And Serral playing mass Zergling. Is he literally going Hive just for Adrenal Glands? I mean, if you think about it, there's no Archons. There's not many Colossus yet. Zerglings are the core of his army, and that's a plus 40% attack speed upgrade. It is one of the most wild upgrades in the game when you think about it. It's usually not that important because there's enough splash damage that Zerglings aren't very effective in frontal fights at that point in the game. But if you have it kicking in pre-10 minutes, your opponent's Colossus also very vulnerable to Vipers. That can work out really well. He's got another Baneling run by on the left side. Looks like he might go for the natural or just run straight into the third, but from a surprising angle. More Banelings are making. The Warp Prism going in towards the main base right now. No Spire, no Vipers. Serral's playing a very low-tech style here. Sees the Colossus for the first time. That being revealed is important. No Vipers coming up just yet. He's just making more Banelings. Baneling's going to roll in from that side. Oh, MaxPax, he does divert the Colossus. Gets a few shots off on it. Probe's doing a good runaway. Oh, he's been so good at handling these Baneling run-bys. Shows you can't do them in isolation. You got to do a lot of things at once to catch him off. The Probes are trying to evac. Can they get out of there? Oh, they can. The Probes get out. Okay, only a few of them go down. The Colossus and Stalkers are up front. They are defending pretty darn well. As long as you keep the 4th base alive, this is a good fight for MaxPax. I believe but he is supply blocked right now. He's going to need to rebuild those pylons and rebuild infrastructure here. A few more cannons and batteries spread in front of that base would be fantastic. And I'm starting to really gain an appreciation for this front fourth base because he's able to defend everything in this one area. Just set everything up there and you're good. He's adding Psystorm, which is super smart here. I love the Psystorm. High Templar will counter Vipers and everything else. Serral is saying, me make Ling Bane, then make more Ling Bane. And I'm like, whoa, this seems like how Raynor often plays it, just sitting on lair tech all game. But apparently, Serral feels like I can overwhelm. You don't have Archons, you don't have Storm, you don't have anything that truly answers this composition. Not yet anyway. And he's just going to go for round 2. I don't think MaxPax is ready. I don't think MaxPax has enough units right now. He's only got one cannon finished, no batteries here. The High Templar trying to get out of there. It's a relatively small army of Stalkers and the Colossus. One of the Colossus falls, more of them are getting taken out. Lings and Banes are on top of absolutely everything. Another Colossus goes down. Stalkers just rolling in 90 probes here, or 90 drones, I should say. Serral says, I don't need efficiency. I got numbers, bitch. And Stalkers are so ineffective versus Ling Bane. They are such a good one-size-fits-all unit to they can kind of deal with mutas, kind of deal with roaches, kind of deal with everything. But Serral says, well, if you're going to overcommit to them and rely on just a couple Colossus, that is not enough. I will overwhelm you with Mass Ling Bane. And he dominates game 1. All right, so he's microing the Oracles. He's move commanded there. He's then he's then A-moved on the ground. And yes, he's targeted the Nexus. You guys can see because we've got his selection. So if you're in a replay, what you do, right, guys? Notice I've gone to MaxPax camera. So we can go to Serral's, go to MaxPax. You want to press player camera, hit escape. So if I had a Stalker clicked on and I go to his camera, it's still Stalker clicked. But if I hit escape, it shows what he has selected. And you can see he A-clicked on the side of the Nexus at first. They attacked the Lings. Then he tried to move, I think, and give another A-click. And he actually does select the Nexus. So the Oracles do actually kill the Nexus. Now, I think the Nexus may have died anyway, but you can see on this frame that there is a laser beam from that Oracle to that Nexus. And MaxPax has had issues with misclicking on his own units. I've actually talked to him recently about his mechanics, and I'll be following up on exactly what mechanical changes he's put in place. But kind of cute catch from Twitch chat that he actually killed his own Nexus there. Might have died anyway, but you know, that's not many Zerglings. If he just killed an extra Zergling and then another one there wouldn't be enough damage to kill the Nexus that's building. So big mistake there for MaxPax. All right, guys, let's go game number 3 down here. We got MaxPax. Oh shit, actually, sorry guys. I really want to leave that Oracle thing in, but that means there's going to be some editing required. So let me just mark that. Edit in, editing needed. After game 1, just before game 2 cast starts, I show he killed his own Nexus. Show this in between games, please. Awesome. Just mark that down, otherwise I'll forget. Alright guys, going into game number 2, or 3 I guess we can call it, since there was that 1-0 advantage. MaxPax in the bottom right. Gonna go for the pylon block on Serral over here. Very popular right now. MaxPax loves to do it. But Serral already sending his drone straight to his third base, expecting this. And happy to go take that 16 hatchery at the third base. He's gonna move out over there. And killing buildings is kind of funny. Apparently, recently in the ESL summer matches, someone killed their own hatchery with a Viper after a battle because it was shifted to consume and it cost them the game. Oof, that's unfortunate. If anyone knows what that game was, let me know in the comments. I'll have to go check it out. Yeah, you always want to try to not take too many hit points off your front structures. You know, so you often want to go back, but sometimes you're in an emergency. You kind of have to consume off a front hatchery with your Vipers, even though you'd rather go back and, you know, wound your spawning pool or your hive a little bit. Buildings that aren't really in danger. This Proboras is very annoying. Serral is very good at counter-microing it, though. Notice his drones very rarely get bounced off. It's such a stark difference when you look at how Serral counter-micros versus this compared to Dark. It's funny because I think of Dark as being such a fast player, but he just lets his whole mineral line get thrown into chaos by MaxPax or hero microing him. Serral's first kind of mistake there, letting those drones get thrown off. And now he's busy fixing them, and they are getting interrupted a little bit, but Overall, no crazy damage. Nexus into Cybercore, a second gas going down behind. That pylon placement makes me think it might be a Twilight Council opening. Overlord for Serral goes straight into the main. I love it. On a small map like this, you can go in, spot where the second pylon is. And if you choose, you can even just sit above that second pylon to confirm the tech structure. Warp Gate starts up, Adept first, and yep, Serral says, hey, Twilight Council's much easier to play against if I know from the start you're going for it. And MaxPax, does he build it on the natural to try to hide it? Does he try to put it over here? Yeah, he's going to put it there. Overlord sees it. Serral knows exactly what's happening. Great start for Serral. Only 2 Lings built here by Serral, so he would have been vulnerable if there was double Adepts getting chronoed and the probe tried to go for a pylon block. Only 2 Lings can't deal with the pylon block, but Serral getting away with a nice greedy start. He's going to be happy with it. All right, the Queen is there. Going to be shading forwards. Careful. Careful, Serral. Good micro on both sides. Does manage to take out a Zergling, but the Adept is wounded a little. The Zergling's going to pull back to that main ramp. No third base for Serral just yet. He's going straight for Queen. He has been enjoying 4 Queen a little bit more lately. I guess if you think about it, guys, this actually makes a lot of sense first Glaive Adepts. Because you're never really droning your third anyway. You want to stop at 2 base saturation, and that's how you defend Glaive Adepts. So Serral is like, well, why would I start a third base? Because that takes away minerals at a crucial moment, and I can't saturate this. Instead, 3 minutes 30, fully saturated on the natural. Looking now to take a third base, and he's going for a super quick lair, which makes me think he thinks it's Dark Shrine. He's going for a Roach Warren at a good time at 340. Roach Warren's second gas lair. Wow, so this is kind of how Cham used to play versus this. Yeah, Cham used to always rush a lair and just get like 6 roaches and an Overseer out. And he didn't care. Is it DT? Is it Adepts? It doesn't matter. 6 roaches is fine. Once I realize that it's Adepts, I'll build more roaches. But if it is just Dark Templar, that's all I need, and I can go back to droning. This is kind of beautiful for Serral. I mean, it's only 38 drones, which doesn't feel good. I'd like him to have a couple more drones on minerals here on that base. But I think he's like, yeah, it's fine. Build a few Lings, go into roaches after that. He's actually building a lot of Zerglings right now. Maybe even too many, because that's right when his Roach Warren's finishing, and now he has no lava available. I gotta be a little critical of that choice to spend all your lava on Zerglings right before that's ready. On the other hand, MaxPax coming in very early with 5 Adepts, and if you don't have anything ready to deal with it, he could commit. The Lings are going to stop him from shading initially, and of course those Adepts all do cancel. 3 more Adepts coming across the map. Where is that Warp Prism? It's kind of late coming in now, but up to 4 gas behind this. MaxPax loves his economic 4-gate, or in this case only 3-gate Glaive Adept. Serral has got Roach Speed coming up very early. I think Serral is planning to kill him. I don't know if Serral's going to drone much behind this. It feels to me like with Roach Speed, Serral just does a Ravager Roach Ling all in and tries to kill MaxPax. But MaxPax, if he keeps his Adepts alive, he can defend it. If he throws the Adepts away by overcommitting here, that's where he's in trouble. Good cancel so far. It's going to be hard to secure a third base. Disruptors are now on the way. Observer coming forward. Still mass roaches. Serral sitting on a lower economy here, guys. No usage of the third. Only 2 gases. He's making so many roaches, though. And with Roach Speed already almost finished, you can tell he's ready. Oh, Serral! Oh, man, we all know about their guerrilla tactics they used back in against Russia in the Winter War. But apparently taking a dump on your opponent's base location, not one I've seen used before. Here we go. Queens are going to go forwards, try to push back that Warp Prism. It's going to fall back. We've got the probe trying to take that third base, the creep slowly dissipating, and the Adepts shading backwards, but a few of them do get focused down. 4 Adepts have gone down. Only 1 Zergling and 1 Overlord have died so far. The Prism's going to get recalled back. Roaches coming forward. He's got a lot of Lings at home. Serral looking for a cancel on the third, and he's into mass drones behind it. This is not an all-in. It's just, I've got 20 Roaches with Roach Speed. I'm going to kill your third, and I'm droning and going Evo Chambers behind it. Serral here really screwing with MaxPax build. Oh, balls come forward. He does land a big shot, taking out 2 of those roaches, but the Adepts on their own kind of suck. He doesn't even have a battery at the front. He's got to pull all the way inside his wall off. How do you get out to take a third here? This is just such well-planned play for Serral, and this is what makes Serral so good at StarCraft, guys. He plans his builds exceptionally. He says, MaxPax will always play Twilight on this map. It's a small map. My Overlord can go in, confirm the Twilight. If I see Twilight, I will delay my third. I will play 4 Queens to get great creep control. drone my expansion on my natural way quicker than normal, go for a super fast lair, get the roaches. This was mapped out before the game started. This is the preparation that allows Serral to get ahead every single time he plays against Reynor. He's the smartest out of any of the players when it comes to preparing these builds against these top guys. He doesn't spam that many small online tournaments because he likes to actually prepare and bring out his A game, much like Maru. This is why these guys are at the very top of the game. But oh god, MaxPax comes out with a flanking ball, but doesn't quite land the shot. Roach is still posturing there. And dude, this third getting cancelled twice has been a disaster. MaxPax third is just started at 7 minutes, and it looks like it'll finally get up this time. But guess what? Serral's got a 4th base starting. Serral's on 66 workers. His queens are pushing back this warp prism. MaxPax needs to keep it in his pants right now. In this case, keep his balls inside his prism. Don't want to let those hang out there or you could be in danger. There's an overseer that is still able to scout everything he's up to at any moment he wants to. And guess what, guys? 125 energy. You know you want to contaminate that robo or that forge. Contaminate at 125 energy. I'd love to see him do it on the upgrade. That would be a beautiful move, but looks like Serral's not thinking about it right now. The Lings are poking in at the front. He's got that energy. He's going to send it back. He's going to do it. He's going to contaminate the robo. Sadly, the forge would have been a better target, but either way, I love that Serral is adopting a very fecal matter of Protoss versus Zerg. To me, this is so, like, it's these little details he's been adding that he used to ignore. Remember that series versus Clem, the Nidus Worm play. We threw out a crazy Nidus, had an insane transition. He kept Clem in his corner of the map. It was so uncharacteristically what we expect from Serral, and that's what I love. The fact that he's going down the dirt road of EVP here, pooping on bases, pooping on tech structures, Ling backstabs. He's done this very creative, slowed down third opening. He's got +2 range, +1 melee, and Bailing's been on the way. The Ling's running in there as well. MaxPax has finally got a decent push going, but I'm worried that he's going to get swarmed over by the sheer numbers of Serral's army. Oh! First big ball does land on the Roach Ravager, but the Lings are distracting him. Battery overcharge has to go down to keep that alive. 3 disruptors, 1 prism, and a pack of stalkers. Great micro by MaxPax. MaxPax is actually fighting back right here. But a hive is on the way, +1 melee is started. Because he's so heavy on roaches, notice Serral's focused on the range upgrades in this game. Very smart choice for him to do that, and just keeps dodging these balls. Right now, MaxPax is playing bowling, but it's up against, it's a special sort of, elite bowling. This is advanced extreme bowling. It's bowling where the pins dance and try to run away and get around you and all that sort of stuff. Bailing run by is stopped in its tracks. Very nice defense by MaxPax. Man, uh-oh, the balls are empty. Wait, no, one of them does recharge. Serral, he focuses it down at the last second. Oh my god, I thought we were about to see Serral just take a big boo-boo. But that was a fantastic decision. That actually worked out so well because now we get so many stalkers on the retreat. The balls are unloading here to try and hold back the chase. Gets 2 roaches with that one. The stalker's blinking back. Good micro for MaxPax, but he's outnumbered. Remember how slow his third was. He needs to be efficient in this game. And Serral said, I'm being more efficient than you are, idiot. I'm throwing away a few expendable Zerglings and Roaches here and there. Every Stalker you lose costs as much as about 8 Zerglings. It is an incredibly big expense that you cannot have. Bile's trying to go down there. Does break down the rocks. Serral has to deal with 3 Adepts on that left side, but he's got good creep spread. He's already there before the shade even comes in. MaxPax has to cancel it, and he does so. He's got the Disruptor drop in the main. He's going to look for that on the economy. He's going to take out a drone. A single drone does take out a queen as well. I mean, it's something, but it's not exactly what you're hoping for with those disruptor shots. The Adept's getting cornered in the bottom left side of the map. Serral is consuming the map at this point. His army is everywhere, and a 4th base trying to begin for MaxPax. But what's he got? 30 Blink Stalkers, 3 Disruptors, and a Dream. The Prism trying to find the big boom booms, but Serral has shown if you get too close, he'll blast them down. If you shoot from too far away, he just pulls back. It puts MaxPax in a very kind of weird position where he's looking for an inattentive Serral. He's looking for a Serral that's not watching, and he's unable to find it. Lings come in, deny that 4th base attempt. Banelings are going to roll in down here. No probes on that base just yet. MaxPax, he's still looking for that big ball drop. But where's his army? It's not here. He can't afford to be losing these bases. Nice! Ravager Ling. Bane coming in. A huge arc of units. Those probes need to evac. MaxPax is like, gosh, man, I can't keep losing these bases. But look, already Mass Baneling getting ready on that. And if that breaches his natural wall, it's going to ruin his main and natural of economy. He has some Stalkers on the D, though. He's been pretty good with that. Baneling's coming forward, but Serral, he's so good at pulling back at the last second. Running in and out with this is so scary, dude. But he's baiting all of the balls. And MaxPax cannot cannot connect now. Now the balls are empty. Serral has a few seconds to go, and he's taking him out from all sides, swarming in, blasting down disruptors as they come off cooldown, and Serral is looking utterly dominant. This build order was so smart. I absolutely need to copy this. If you know your opponent's going to go for Glaive Adepts, that is a genius way to play. Serral gave no chance for MaxPax to take control of the early game. That was a beautiful way of just shutting down the aggression, denying the third base, and being in control from there. All right, this man needs to fight bloody hard because he is down 0-3 now in score, up against a man that seems to have come here very prepared. No chances left. You got to be find a way to be surprising, I feel, as MaxPax, because Serral, man, he's just on another level. He is ripping off nerds' heads and destroying people at the moment. And he's playing very clever builds. Really clever builds as well. I mean, it's also the way he's flowing from situations where I'm used to him kind of freezing up in a little bit or getting a bit frustrated with. I don't know if part of this is because he's streaming a lot more and he's trying to commentate and be a bit more chill while he's playing, where you can tell he's very self-aware of how angry he gets when things aren't perfect in a game, and that he's kind of, I think he's like learning to, while still having incredibly high standards for himself, just be a little bit more relaxed in the chaotic situations and say, yeah, you know what, it's a bit scrappy, but let's just play in the weird spot. Just play it out, see. You never know. You never know. That's why we've been casting a lot of fun games off his stream lately and seeing him kind of chilling there, but in tournaments it feels like he's very, very exciting. And you know, this was played in April, guys, so this was before I talked to Serral about the 15-15, and I feel like getting forced to take his third, pylon blocked every game, 100% he would mix in a 15 or a 14 hatchery at least once in this series if he was to play MaxPax again today. And don't worry, guys, if he does end up defeating MaxPax here, which is looking highly likely he will, I will keep on kind of tracking Serral in these future series and say, is it Clem? Is it MaxPax? Is it Rainer? Who's going to bloody stop this crazy streak he's on? And the thing is, are they even able to stop him? Because, I mean, Clem may have beaten him at Pigfest, but it wasn't like he stopped his momentum, because he barely beat Serral, and then Serral's gone back to dominating every single person since then, like including revenge on Clem 3-0 in this exact tournament. So I'm just amazed to see how well he's doing. Now, unfortunately, guys, MaxPax may be a little tilted, because that is what we call a crap wall off. He can wall off up there with another building, but this is a 2-space cap, which means he needs to build like another pylon or something, but then it's going to be a weird diagonal wall. Like, essentially, his wall off is scuffed. So MaxPax did scuff his wall off a little bit. Serral sees that. I don't know, man. I kind of would want to just do an all-in and try to punish that wall off for being poorly placed, but that's pretty unlike Serral, unless he already had that in mind. Stargate's on the way here as well. We've got probes pumping. Adepts are on the way. Adept is shading forwards into that third base. And he's usually careful, pull back the Lings. Good pullback by Serral there, and pulls back the drone as well. Nice micro on both sides. I love watching that dance where the Adept's trying not to take damage, but seeing if it can snag a kill, and Serral's kind of pulling back those drones and Lings, but now comes the double shade. Uh-oh, careful, there's only 2 Lings there. Does get a drone. Doesn't get a second one, but still, I mean, he's unharmed, though. The Adepts are unharmed. This is great for MaxPax. So MaxPax doing really well. You can see there, he's building the dodgy wall off. Try to fix that. Those Adepts backing off for now. He's forced up to 10 Zerglings out for Serral, which means Serral's down 10 workers. He was on 24 versus 34 for a second. Of course, he does have a lot more workers popping out. They're helping fix that right now. And the first Oracle does enter the map. Looking to take a third base behind this. Does the Oracle defend that third base? He sees a few Lings here. Ooh. Yep, he's going to try and save the probe. I think it's worth it, because this is guaranteed damage, killing like a Zergling or 2. Probably thought he would get 2, but Serral's too quick. Gets the third base down, does MaxPax. Second gateway coming up behind this in the wall off, of course. Pylon goes down there. 2 Adepts are still on the other side of the map. Serral only sent 2 Lings across the map. He's being very responsible on the defense. And these Adepts are going to try to shade in, but the Overlord saw it. Serral knows about this. Oracle coming in from that side, and good cancel. He's going to nestle those Adepts in between the mineral line where they're safe. They can't be surrounded too easily. Serral will have to micro around the back of the mineral line to get an angle. And MaxPax there, you can see, trying to shade out. The Adept on the back will go down pretty quickly. but the one at the front doing very well, and he just took out a lot of Zerglings. Going to shade into that natural as well. No defense there. The Adept's actually going to take out a drone or two. Oracle's diving the main. Queens do defend that. Serral taking a little bit more damage this time. 3 drones, 7 Zerglings for 2 Adepts. It's not the end of the world. You can see the units lost time is acceptable. But MaxPax probing up that third base. He's got a Forge, a Twilight Council behind this on 4 gases. The Overlord doesn't see the gases just yet, but it does see most of what's going on in his base. And MaxPax not really trying to keep any secrets in this game. Oracle turns on its laser beam. Zerglings immediately pull back. Serral throwing away no units as he goes for a lair of Roachhorn. Extra second gas comes in, and I expect the 4th base very early. This drone indeed already has orders to go build that. Triple Oracle comes in. 3 Queens do defend it. The Oracles could dive, but notice the vision for Serral. There's no real surprise angle they could come in except behind the 4th base. Into the natural, that's probably the weakest angle. Look at the spread of Queens. 0 openings. This man just does not leave an opening. He's even adding a Spore Crawler in the 3rd just to ensure that. He sees the gateways coming down now, but he's already seen all the tech. He saw the Forge, he saw the Twilight, he saw the gases. Interestingly, no 4th gas mining, which I think might be a mistake here for MaxPax. As he's building a 2nd Forge, it's definitely a mistake. MaxPax needs to fix that up real soon. When you've got a monster in front of you, it's very hard to fix all that stuff. Ooh, okay, not bad. Gets 1, 2, 3, 4 drones in total with this Oracle dive. The weak one pulled back earlier ahead of time. Lings are still getting pushed back. Still no mining on that 4th gas. MaxPax is about to hit a gas wall, and he needs to take a 4th base because he's got nothing to spend his money on. He's going to take a 4th base in the center, going for this sort of layout. I do feel like it's an okay spot for MaxPax, but the lack of that is going to really hurt him in a moment's time. +1 armor goes in, chrono boosting this. Unless he goes into charge very soon and starts making zealots, because he's already hit that gas wall that we talked about. Where as he tries to warp in these next few rounds of Stalkers, he's not going to be able to do it. Infestation Pit on the way. Serral wants that fast hive for Adrenal Glands. Interestingly, he's going +1 range. Is Serral going to go Hydroden? Are we going to see a Lurker play? We might see a Lurker play out of him. Lurkers do counter Stalkers and Zealots. And you haven't played it once in this entire series. So that would actually be a big surprise. And that flexibility is insane. I mean, Serral's ability to play so many different styles is very, very powerful. All right, Adepts shading on forward. Drones trying to pull out of there. Adepts do take out 1 drone, but otherwise going to be held off. Stalkers poking at the front as well. Charges on the way behind this. MaxPax trying to play that charge style. He's probing a little bit, but hasn't started his +2 attack. He's out of gas, guys. He's finally remembered to mine that 4th gas, but that's slowing down his +2 attack. And indeed, Hive and Hydrogen goes down, but so does a Baneling Nest? That doesn't make any sense, guys. You should not be playing Banelings and Lurkers. This is a very confusing style out of Serral right now, but good defense for him, holding those Stalkers off. Does get rid of one of the Oracles with the Queens as well. Units lost tab looking fantastic for Serral. Now, this is bizarre, because normally you either go Ravager Bane, or you go Lurkers, Roach Hydra Viper. You don't go both. It's not like it's the worst thing in the world. It's just kind of bizarre, because Banelings are gas heavy, Lurkers are gas heavy. I guess Banelings are just so good at stopping Zealot run-bys that it definitely does help out. So Serral's playing a sort of mixed style. And this also gives you the power of having more mobile backstabs. You can do Ling Bane run-bys. You have +1 and then +2 melee coming in to clean up Zealot run-bys by surrounding them. Yeah, wow. I've always felt it's a slightly less optimal style, though, because you've just got so many different upgrades, so much tech required, that you lose any sort of fierce timing attack. Serral might be okay with that. He's on 87 workers. I think he's very happy to just defend to the late game. And even though there's a 5th base for MaxPax, this is a mineral economy 5th base. Yeah, he's finally getting 6 gases, but it's pretty late. You can see that MaxPax, even though he's got a pretty good economy, it's not high tech just yet. Hydra's coming in. The Roach Ravager going to try and chase down these Stalkers. A lot of the Stalkers starting to go down right now. Link's around there. He's got Roaches in the bottom as well. Zealots are going to run into that, but that's enough Roaches to fight this. And look at that nice stutter set for Serral, hunting down those Zealots. The Zealots are trying to run past to lure these Roaches home, but so many of them die in the process. Ling's going to intercept as well. Lurker upgrades on the way. Baneling Speed, Adrenal Glands, all of that coming in. MaxPax Tech, on the other hand, is dead in the water. If he doesn't get something done very soon, he's in trouble. He sees Lings, Roaches, Ravagers. He finally is going to see his first Hydras in a moment here. And that's going to tell him, hey, wait a second, this is going to be Lurkers. Here the first Lurkers arrive. Oh my god. He is so unprepared for this. He's got oracles for detection. He can't stand and fight. MaxPax needs to back off. He's meeting a brick wall in Serral. And it's a style. You're meant to be aggressive as MaxPax in this sort of game. But Serral is so far ahead on all these things. MaxPax is struggling to find an opening. Mass Zealot warping in the main. A great move. Serral's not playing a very mobile style. He actually cancels a Lurker Morph up front. Serral unable to establish a 5th base too easily. MaxPax might be able to get that cancel. A lot of drones going down in the main. The Stalkers, if they can cancel this 5th base, that would be beautiful. Or kill it, I should say, as it's finished and just started mining. Stalkers are here. Lurkers burrowing behind the hatchery, trying to set up a safe zone. +2 range kicking in right there. So those Lurkers are now 10 range Lurkers. He's going to focus the hatchery down. Great move by MaxPax. 13 drones and the 5th base goes down. He's building a second Robo Bay. He's already got one of those. He realizes as I say it and cancels it. I think that's meant to be just a regular Robo facility. I think he wants 2 or 3 of those. Fleet Beacon and second Stargates on the way. He's going to start an air transition while using disruptors to try and buy time. Mass Cannon Battery trying to go down across these bases. Serral's Roach is hunting right now for any units on the map. 5th base is up and he's taking the gases. So he's up to 8 gases right now. 10 once he starts mining off these in a moment's time. There we go. And we've got +2/1 ground upgrades, 2 carriers building as well as +1 air. Serral, though, literally has map hacks. His overseers have just been up in MaxPax business all game long. And I really feel you cannot give Serral this much information. He's so good at using it. Look at that. He gets in between MaxPax and his own base. The Lings starting to do damage. The Cannon Battery trying to hang on, but the Lurk is creating an impossible scenario. The Roaches up there intercepting those Stalkers as well. This is a brilliant maneuver for Serral, who's driven a wedge between himself and the Protoss. These Roaches say, okay, we'll just back off. We're not winning that fight. But these guys down here are crushing this engagement. He's not giving him time to get to carriers. He says, right now, you've got a lot of supply tied up in those carriers. They are not out just yet. I'm going to push. I'm going to punish you. And that was the perfect way to do it. There's a Lurker here. The Stalkers cannot overwhelm that. These Lurkers will eventually get dealt with as there's nothing that shoots up, but not before they kill that Nexus. And Serral says, I'll sacrifice a few Lurkers to kill your Nexus. That's fine by me, man. Carriers do not kill these bad boys that quickly. Carapace is on the way as well as +2 melee. Spire is building. He's going to start building Corruptors to deal with the carriers. In small numbers, carriers are very vulnerable to just Corruptors. You're going to need Archon, Storm, and that is why the Templar Archives is on the way. MaxPax rebuilding that 3rd base over there. He's still got a fantastic work account, so he's got a good economy. He's not out of this game by any means, but he's playing against Serral, the Lord of the late game, the winner of endgame, the patient badass that has killed more people with Broodlords, Corruptors, and Infestors than anybody else in the game. He also is adding a little bit of spice. The fecal matter comes in big, drops that doo-doo all over that Stargate, and does delay the carrier production by 30 seconds. I love the attention to detail in these games. Serral coming in yet again on that south side. Lurk is going to siege on the base, taking out that Nexus. A Colossus randomly joins the fray. I don't know why there's a Colossus in this game. I guess it's an okay unit to have, but definitely not optimal versus Lurkers. The Lurkers not able to deny that base just yet. Serral's got to be a little careful, man. There are 3 carriers out. The 4th and 5th one will be popping momentarily. Oh, the low ground siege on the mineral line is always a cute move. Revelation will reveal those Lurkers, but a bunch of probes are going to go down. MaxPax tries to move forward. He's also got a Zealot counterattack at the same time. The Lurkers do get cleaned up for just 6 probes. Not the biggest impact, but I'm starting to worry. The fact that that guy is just standing there, having a perv on the production, definitely not good for MaxPax. At least he finally pushes it back. But Nidus Lurker could pop in the main as well. Lots of things could go wrong. As Serral cleans up the Zealot run by on the south side. We've got another Spire building here. So 1 Spire in the main, another one in the natural. We've got Spine, Spores, all that stuff. Pathogen Glands is on the way right now as well. And he is just massing on up. MaxPax, though, is very good with the Archon carrier late game. You've got to give respect where it's due. He's incredibly powerful there. I do think, though, Plasma Shields is something he should be starting soon. He's getting close to max. He's got +3 attack, +2 air attack as well on the way. And Shields, of course, helps all your buildings and your units. In a long game, it's going to be a very impactful upgrade. Oracle's throwing a nice tag down, reveals a layer of Spores and Lurkers. Serral is setting up a goddamn wall right now. He says, I'm sick of these goddamn Mongolian Protoss coming across this wall, raiding us, burning things down, taking our gold and stuff. No! He's just going to build a wall, the Great Wall of Spores and Lurkers. And I got to tell you, I don't know if Genghis Khan would have had such a good time. Well, to be fair, the Great Wall, I'm pretty sure, was after Genghis. Anyway, I'm pretty sure any of those horse raiders wouldn't have had a good time if there was Lurkers on top of or behind that Great Wall. they would have had a terrible time. I mean, that would have been tough to get past. Anyways, Roach is going down behind the mineral line here, just looking to trade off these units that he really doesn't want anymore. But he's like, oh, cool, I get to kill some Zealots and Probes for it. Let's do it, man. The Roach is trying to focus down the Probes, seeing what they can get done. And the Archons, carriers could maybe dive, do a little bit of a break on this position. Just don't sacrifice the Archons. Those Archons will die real quick to those Lurkers, man. Oh, we're going bowling. But only clips a single Lurker. And get over here. Spikes take out that Disruptor. Mama's on the way. I do like that. Greatest Spire, Ultra Cavern, +3 melee, +2 Carapace, Adrenal Glands has already been made. And New Zealot warping in the main. I like this move. Going after the drones, not going after the Spires. And, well, much like Genghis Khan, they're splitting up these raiding parties and going in from multiple sides. They're maybe going to use Mama to recall into the main. I don't know what sort of Mongol reference we can use to talk about recall, but yeah, I don't know. They're going to call a Kurultai in your opponent's main base, I guess. Archons, Disruptors, and Carriers trying to pull back, but oh man, Abduct is so punishing here, man. Here we go, Prism trying to build as well. We've got some history lessons coming in from chat as well. Apparently the Great War was started over a millennium before Genghis was actually born. Really? When was it finished though? I mean, I thought it was after. I thought it was like 14 or 1500s. I had no idea. That's crazy. Definitely wasn't too effective though. Turns out building a giant wall, not the most effective strategy, guys. It is something where, you know, back in the old days, the peak of strategy, in the ancient days, remember they didn't have very many books. They didn't have computers. They didn't have the internet. They didn't learn as quickly about strategy as us. They didn't have Sun Tzu to read just yet. But they basically, the peak of strategy was like a Villo. You know, it was like, I'll just defend all game. If I just build a wall, it'd be efficient. I'll win. You know, it was like that kind of like really high tier thinking. It's like, I don't know, man. You got to think about maintaining and guarding that wall for that long. Well, apparently Serral has no problem with that. He's just going to keep reinforcing this wall for days. He's just going to say, as long as I have enough spores, Lurkers to deal with the ground army, spores to deal with that, Abducts to deal with disruptors and things picking at me, I'm happy to do this. I'm going to build this ultra expensive army, grow my energy count, my infestors, get Neural, get Burrow, get all the air upgrades in the book. And over time, I will get up the most expensive army you've ever seen. I believe there's a Control A. No? Sorry, active forces. This is it. So this is the cost of their army, guys. So right now, Protoss is at 7,300, is down 1,000 minerals and down 1,000 gas. That tells you something. The Zerg army is actually more expensive than the Protoss army. And that, of course, comes off the back of things like Broodlords, which are very expensive for their supply. Once we get into those, he doesn't have any yet. Lurkers, I guess, are pretty supply intensive. I mean, they're only full supply, but pretty expensive, I should say. But Infestors and Vipers especially, the more spellcasters you have, those units tend to be very, very expensive. And if you use them correctly, they will be worth their weight in gold. Was it like season 1 of South Park, the damn Mongolians thing? I can't even remember. Anyway, Viper does get feedback, but losing some air units for it. You got to keep your oracles alive because that's your vision creator. MaxPax is sending Mama around the north. He's looking for the recall. Guys, he's looking for the offensive Kurultai. He's going to go for the offensive Kurultai in the main, but it's been spotted. Serral will not be fooled by that. The Corruptors are going to go to intercept. MaxPax backs off and says, no, it's fine. We don't need to pick a new leader. It's all good. He's going to chill out for now. Pulling back a little bit. That was a bit too obvious, but at least he pushes back the vision. He might try it again later in this game. Warp Prism down in the bottom left. That one could come in and surprise at some point later in this game, but right now, Serral is using his greatest weapon, and that is patience. You guys ever have a staring contest with a Finnish person? You literally can't win. Those guys' souls froze out of their body thousands of years ago when they chose to live in the coldest part of the entire world, man. There's bloody nomads that live up there that live off reindeer meat. Like, these people are you cannot take them down in any sort of patience contest. It's not going to work. They literally hibernate in the winter when it's minus 400 degrees. MaxPax is going to get over eager. He's going to dive in. He does get a few infestors. Nice focus fire on the infestors. He's using the 12 leash range of the carriers very well. Their Corruptors are going to dive and take him out, though. Where's the ground support? Oh, no. Where's the ground support? Oh, God. Where's the storm? Finally, those High Templar, they'd rallied around the south. Oh, a bit of miscontrol from MaxPax. He gets punished. It looked like a really promising fight, but at the end of the day, that cold Finnish stare, unbroken eye contact, I'm pretty sure Serral didn't blink once. MaxPax has a few tears dripping out of the corner of his eyes. He's going to do a distraction prism. Serral says, thanks for throwing money into my meat grinder. He just shuts it down. 7,000 resources ahead in the unit slot. Serral is all over these fights so far. He's also got a P squad in the north of the map. But oh no! Oh, the offensive Kurultai! He's going for it. He's not even maxed though. That's a terrible... Oh no, MaxPax has lost the plot. Guys, that's not even a big army. Oh no! MaxPax! I think he just lost hope. This is it. Serral just took his will to continue in this game, and he's like, well, I've been trying to do recall all game. I finally got the mothership in the base. I guess I do it. It's like, dude, your army's not even big. He needed a pack of Archons and more High Templar to help cover that. He goes to the offensive Kurultai, loses all of it, and that's not good, man. He's now making 4 Tempests at a time, which are the sniper unit. So for those who don't know, going mass... Tempest, it's like going mass snipers in a conventional military conflict, or I guess a game that tries to reflect that. Company of Heroes, imagine we're gonna play mass sniper. I have 12 snipers, and you're like, that's not a strategy. That's not gonna work, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you've got layers of cannons and batteries and oracles revelating, you can pick off some units from behind, but you need a core to your army. 3 Archons, 4 High Templar is not really a core. And even these lurkers are just big problem makers right now. Ling Bang coming in from the bottom. The Zealots running away. These two think they're the heroes from the Legacy of the Void cinematic. The other ones all say, no, you won't stand alone. Oh my god. Oh my god, no. Zealots. They're like, my honor will not let me fall back and let my brother die alone. I'm like, but no, that just means you're all gonna die. His name was Robert Paulson. All their names were Robert Paulson, man. I am Spartacus. No, I am Spartacus. They all charged into their death. Not the most efficient way to go. Serral is smashing in this game. He has had 13,000 resources. Absolutely nailing it right now. It's tough. It's tough because Serral has so many years of being at the top of the world of this sort of game. And it's so funny because you look at him when he's playing it and he'll be like, this is so sloppy. I'm playing so bad. I don't really like this sort of game. It feels kind of boring, but I guess I just have to do it. And then you see his opponents and you look in their eyes and they're just like, I can't do anything. He's literally unkillable. It's stupid. It's unfair. And I want to say Zerg's broken, but it only feels this way when I play against him. And you're like, yeah, kind of does in the whole balance argument, doesn't it? You're like, it's just, he's ridiculous, man. The lurkers come in, he gets the Nexus, he's got another lurker on the top that says, hey dickheads, the Archons do take him out. A small victory for MaxPax in a sea of defeats. Those final upgrades are coming in. Look at the upgrade tab for Serral, guys. Tell me Zerg isn't broken. Look at how many more upgrades they have than the other teams. He's even made both Ultra upgrades just in case he wanted to build Ultras at some point. He's not built a single Ultra this game. But yeah, that's a big upgrade tab. I like it. Very, very impressive. MaxPax doesn't have any Colossus, but I still kind of wish he made the Viagra upgrade just for shits and gigs. I also feel like Observer Speed and Warp Prism Speed would be good additions, but he never made those. The Lurker Baneling gonna come in again, and man, the Ling Bane, it adds maneuverability to an otherwise static style, and it's the maneuverability of those Ling Bane run-bys that do add a bit of a problem for the Protoss to deal with, but Mama comes in with her cloaking field. She basically, you know, the Zerg, Serral's trying to bully the other kid in the playground, and then the mum comes over and gets down on his level and stares him right in the eyes and says, I'll mess you up. Serral backs off momentarily. We'll see what his counter is, though. He's going to make Brood Daddies. Oh, he's calling his Brood Daddies over. Okay, Brood Daddies or Brood... I guess they're Brood Mamas, aren't they? Anyways. Ah, Storm's going down. Nice fungal landing. MaxPax has got to be careful. He can't go too deep, though. He can't go too deep. Nice. Tempest shots taking out some Infestors. But, dude, fungal plus Brood Lords punish an Archon and the High Templar on the retreat. 13,000 resource lost advantage for Serral. Now, they're both mining a central base. So neither player is getting more mining than the opponent. Whoa! How many Infestors just died, guys? How many? He just... That Disruptor just killed 4 Infestors. Oh my god. I came back and saw chunks of slug everywhere, and I was like, what just happened? Serral did get caught out there. MaxPax pushing in. Dude, he has 12 Archons right now. He can literally make an arch of Archons. That's disgusting. Disruptor lands, taking out a Lurker, damaging 3 more of them. It does go down, but that's a good shot. The thing is, Lurkers and Broodlords do wreck Archons, but he's got to defend them from the Tempests and everything. The Corruptor Viper's getting focused down. MaxPax taking a pretty good fight, but the Fungal Parasitic Bomb, the Wombo combo on that air army. Look at how damaged those Tempests go. The Fungals kept getting chained. Oh my lord, they're so low. And when the Archons get in range of the Lurkers, they start to disappear. Oh me, oh my, those Tempests are burning all day and night. He needs to move the Tempest to the left, let the Archons land the hits on the Corruptors. Great micro by MaxPax, but the Broodlord's coming in. He's got to get the Archons away from the Broodlords right now. 2 more Tempests are lost. They say, excuse me, I'm lost, and they get absolutely ripped to shreds. Lurkers coming in for the run by. Disruptor takes out 2 of them. The Lurkers, they go in, they turn around, they tuck that Lurker upside down. Units lost tab. Now only 11,000 resources in favor of Serral. But still, that's not too bad. He does have a base denied, though, but he's denying these bottom bases as well, which is, of course, its own boon to him. MaxPax is one of the best Archon carrier, Archon Tempest players in the game, but I do feel with just the right Fungals on those Archons and landing big Lurker and Broodlord hits on them, Serral can take it down. The trick is, I think he needs to get aggressive. I think he needs to burrow his Lurkers on the Archons. He can't sit back and wait for him to come to him. Probes do come in there and all get themselves nailed. Zealot's going to clean up that Lurker in the bottom side of this map. Zealot's coming in. Spine Crawlers do defend it. A little bit of Hentacle to the face. Not every Zealot's forte, as that kind of getting up in your business can definitely ruin you. These guys sitting out in the open right now. This is a bit dangerous, this army positioning for Serral. Oh no! Carriers in the open! Carriers in the open! Serral dives. The light cavalry finds the exposed artillery. They go in, light it on fire, stab down all of the artillery officers and soldiers, and then they just run away. That was very bad for MaxPax. Carriers are incredibly expensive units. MaxPax cannot afford to re-max right now. His name is MaxPax, but he's half-pax right now because he's only half-maxed. Ah, man, the Fungals are big. The Fungals are big. Is there enough, though? Feedbacks land, but Neural, 3 of the Archons turn on their own side. The Corruptors cop a storm to the face, but there's too much stuff, and MaxPax, or as we should say, half-pax, does get overwhelmed because Serral shows he can rush you, he can swarm you with Banelings, or he can play the turtle late game if he wants. And he is showing some very cool styles. That 2-base opening that he did with the delayed third, so good for countering Twilight. And MaxPax's main style is Twilight, but it felt like he didn't have faith in it working. He only really tried it once. Serral shut it down, and Serral 3-0s MaxPax after 3-0ing Clem, dominates the Basilisk big 25th anniversary tournament and continues this streak. Stay tuned. Let me know if you're enjoying these Serral games. I just love it when a player is looking angry and indomitable. So we're going to keep covering the series, and if anyone can put up a good fight, bring it close, we'll definitely cast that one in the future as well. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.